there, this is my second video, and I continue on the story how God took over my life, and that I want to share with you. And I talked about this electricity that went through my lower part of the body for some weeks, for a few weeks, and then I didn't connect why, but God told me that by sending pain through me, sending this electricity, He raised my frequency so I could reach and talk to God. And then I was reassured about that. But when this was happening, I talked to a friend who I said, yeah, is this really true? And she communicated with the archangels, and they said I was intended to work for God. And first, she didn't believe it. And she called them up again, so to speak, and asked, is that really true? Is not Kolbjörn on some kind of drugs? But they said to her, I'm sure I have the text from that. They said, he is not on any drugs. And in fact, I was living on water and bananas. So no drugs there. But so every morning I started to talk to God, conversation, and what happens, I had to repeat the questions and the answers especially the answers from God many times, because I was in a state between dream and reality. I think this is what the shamans work from. And then I had to, so God had to have a lot of patience with me, because I asked again and again so I could remember. And then after maybe 1 hour, I have no idea of time, I felt now is the time to go up, and started my laptop. And then I first listened to the words of God, and it could come first as words one by one. So I had to wait with my fingers on the laptop to wait for God's words coming. And so that could take some time. And mostly God talked about the topic we talked about in the morning. But sometimes it changed. It was His story and His work, so I just had to obey for that. And I thankfully took on that job. And then after some time, I felt it was very awkward to wait for the words of God all the time. So I asked God, why don't you take over my hands and write? And then it was like God started to come into my fingertips, and I could feel it. And I said, God, you are in my fingertips. You're I can feel you. And then later he took over my hands and my whole arms. And in the end, after months later, he took over my whole body. And the story was like that. All of a sudden he gave me a message. Now I'm fully in your body. And then he said, now you better start to act like me. And I was laughing. Oh my God, I'm not you. I can only be Kolbjörn with all my faults. So it was I just laugh when I think about it. And then we decided we have two parts. One is Kolbjörn's and the other part is God's. So I'm one body, but I have both parts in me. So that was the idea, that we work together, and sometimes he comes, he takes over my hands and he takes over part of my body. And I tell you that in the next video. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you, thank you. God bless you all. I love you.